Hi, this is attorney Stephen G. Cobb, and we're continuing with our video series about various aspects of Florida criminal and DUI defense law. If you or someone you love has been arrested and charged with a DUI, it's a very serious legal matter with ramifications that can last for a lifetime. One of the most important pieces of advice that I can give to somebody is, this is one of those cases where you absolutely hire a lawyer. Now, on top of that, you don't want a lawyer with cases falling out of their ears. You want someone who's going to give the personal attention needed to your case. Someone who understands the ins and outs of that particular type of litigation. Someone who's not going to file garbage motions and just bleed you and plead you. And let me explain what that is. One of the things that a lawyer could do, and I'm not saying any of my colleagues in particular do this, but I have heard of it happening, is you call up and you have an initial consultation and it goes something like this. Really? That happened? I can file a motion. And the lawyer knows up front that motion is probably not going to be granted. But they file it anyway. Then they go, I can't believe the judge did that. Well, it'll cost you this amount of money, but I think we should appeal it. And then from there, the lawyer says, well, you know, that's terrible. This motion to suppress was not granted. We should go to trial. Now, in some parts of the state, if you go to trial and lose, you might get more court costs. However, in other parts of the state, if you don't know the judge and you go to trial and lose with, you know, the possibility of appeal, and of course there's another fee for that, the problem is you're looking at jail time. There's not supposed to be a trial penalty if someone exercises their fundamental right to go to trial. The reality is, if you go to trial and you lose in certain jurisdictions, which even in one county, one judge can do one thing and another can do another, the judge may not say a single thing. The judge probably would never say, I'm imposing a trial penalty. That's reversible error. But what can happen is the judge would say nothing, and that probation offer comes off of the table instead of the better plea offer coming because, you know, it's the day of trial and you may have been incorrectly advised, you know, the best plea offer comes the day of trial. What can actually happen is you end up going to trial, losing, and going out the back door. So be very careful with who you hire as your Florida DUI defense lawyer, because you want to get the best advice you possibly can. And while some of my colleagues may say, I'm an aggressive lawyer, I'll tell you right now, I save being aggressive for the right time and the right case, because sometimes it's the time to be passive, sometimes it's the time to be aggressive. It's always the right time to start your case by starting smart and staying smart. Thank you.